How's it going, everybody? MyCupOfTea here, back to the reaction video. And we're here to watch some more videos from Diamondbolt. Yay, yay. Now, it's been a minute, but we're here to watch a video that caught my eye. Well, it's like a series, it looks like. But today, we're going to be watching the worst movie sequels ever made by Diamondbolt. And he has 3 videos on this, so I'm curious to see what's going on with these movie sequels. Because I don't really watch movies like that. Well, growing up I did, but I kind of stopped around like high school, middle school. So. But I'm curious to see how bad these sequels are, because I see The Mask in there. Well, I got Son of the Mask, and yeah, that was pretty. Yeah, I remember watching that one. I didn't like it. But before we start, I've been seeing something about like Ben 10's coming back or something like that, like on my feed. I don't know if that's true or not, but if that's true, I might really have to rewatch or get back into watching Ben 10 again on my other channel, because it's been a minute since I watched Ben 10. But yeah, let's get into this video.
When you think of the worst sequel ever made, what is it that comes to mind?
Right, let me think about that. Real quick. Worst sequels that come to mind. From my limited knowledge of movies. I'm drawing a blank. I can't, if it was anime, like just stuff, I can tell you there. But movies, I got nothing.
Is it one of the 47 Home Alone movies? Is it like Cars 2?
I heard that.
Is it like Transformers 2?
I watched Transformers.
Now that I think about it, would have actually been a really good one to cover. Damn it. My original idea for doing a video like this was just going to be going off like an IMDb list of like the worst sequels ever made or something. But, you know, it didn't take me very long to work out that literally nobody wants to hear me talk about fucking Exorcist 2, even though the climax of that movie involves someone doing Gangnam Style. So instead, we're just going to talk about like 3 widely hated sequels to movies that I really like. Not because they're like the worst ever, but just because they make me upset. Like they were just not cooking with any of these. But you can be with the sponsor of today's video, HelloFresh.
HelloFresh.
Oh,
okay.
Come on, you gotta give me that. That was pretty good.
I'll give you that.
If you're like me and spend more time staring at the fridge than actually making food, then let me introduce you to HelloFresh, a service that delivers healthy meals.
He's put some time into this ad one. I'm
boring shopping for you. All you have to do is pick what meals you want for the week, customize the ingredients to suit your diet, and then pick what time you want it to show up. Now, I know you might be shocked to hear that my YouTuber lifestyle of sitting in a chair for 15 hours a day and eating hot chips hasn't given me a six-pack yet. Okay? Eating healthy can be kind of hard. Like, dude, not only do you have to like pick what to eat, but then you have to like make sure you have all the ingredients for it, and then you have to actually make it. Like, dude, McDonald's is like right down the road, you know? So finally, with
get yourself an air fryer, change your life. I'll change your life. An air fryer and a rice cooker, change your life right there. That's all you need. You only ever need to use an oven or a stove. Air fryer, rice cooker. You can do whatever you want in the air fryer. Burgers. I never use a burger. I'm not using a burger. I'm using my grill. But steak, fish, vegetables probably. Like small little pieces. I heard my friend like made like a not a hot pocket, but like a calzone in that air fryer. Air fryers are very versatile. Get one, please.
HelloFresh, I can have something healthy to cook every day that won't even take me that long instead of just giving up and crying while eating a packet of Oreos. And they update their menu every week with different meals, and look how many you get to choose from. It's still going. And check out some of this food, man. You got Korean fried chicken burger, cheesy Mexican pork tacos, quick herby Italian beef loaded fries. God, I'm so hungry. Just sign up now using my code and get a yearly subscription of fresh ingredients straight to your door. And this is the best part. With my code that's on screen right now, you get a free dessert with every box as long as your subscription is active.
But that code doesn't matter right now.
Plus, you can pause or cancel anytime. So make sure you click the link in the description or scan my QR code or use my code on screen to get 16 free meals plus free dessert for life while your subscription is active. Thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. And now let's get back to me complaining for like 25 minutes. Anyway, we're going to start with Megamind 2 because I know that's what people really want to hear me talk about.
I never watched Megamind 1. I know. I never watched it. Shoot, if I can, I might convince my friend to watch it with me on my... I might use like a I don't know. I'll figure that out. I never watched it. I heard it was good.
DreamWorks never made a sequel to Megamind because the first one was so peak that they just didn't know how to top it. But nah, it turns out the first one just didn't make a whole lot of money because of that stupid fucking Minions movie that had the exact same plot but beat them to the punch by like 3 months. I read somewhere one time that DreamWorks said they're not really big on doing like parody movies like Megamind or Monsters vs. Aliens anymore because they don't land as well overseas, which is basically their way of saying that nobody wants to buy a toy of a guy with a fucking goatee. By the way, did you know that Megamind doesn't have his facial hair in most of the posters for the first movie?
Oh, really?
What were they trying to hide? So, you know, it's not exactly a mystery why Megamind never got a follow-up. The real question is why, after 14 years, they've decided now was the perfect time to dredge up his corpse when...
What? Why? Oh wait, he's talking about the TV show? If he's talking about the TV show, I heard about how bad that is.
Most of us were finally ready to move on. For anyone that hasn't seen it for some reason, Megamind's a movie about a supervillain who accidentally murders his arch nemesis Metro Man, and so has to like work out what to do in a world without him for a whole like 2 days before he just gets bored and makes another one out of a Reddit incel voiced by Jonah Hill.
He made a superhero?
Knock your teeth out of your dumb fucking English skull.
And at the same time, he does what
face.
any self-respecting man would do and completely throws away his entire life's work for the first girl that talks to him.
Well, good luck on your date. I will. That doesn't even make any sense. I know.
Like with any DreamWorks movie, they blow half their budget on the all-star cast like Will Ferrell and Brad Pitt and Uncle Ian from Alvin and the Chipmunks.
It's still warming up, sir.
Come again?
Warming up, sir.
Warming up! The sun is warming up.
But I think Megamind's real legacy is all of the memes that have come out of it.
I heard about
because
that.
It's had such a cultural impact that when the fucking Queen of England died a couple years ago, instead of seeing anyone mourning about it on social media, all I saw was people posting this scene of Titan.
And there is no Queen of England.
Dang, that's crazy.
The only thing that I don't love about Megamind is that it kind of has like that late 2000s DreamWorks art style where it's kind of like really ugly. But after watching the sequel where it has like a tenth of the budget, I'd like to apologize for just calling the first movie ugly.
Hello, loyal viewers. Like me, you probably never thought this day would come.
Oh no. That's not Will Ferrell. So yeah, after 14 years, whatever the fuck Peacock is, has got not just a new...
Hey, Peacock got my wrestling shows. Hey, they got WWE. That's all I need for them. I can watch the pay-per-view, SummerSlam coming out tomorrow. About to watch that. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it live because like I go to my friend's place, but no, that's the only thing I'm using Peacock for. Is to watch pay-per-views and like maybe some other wrestling things on there.
Megamind movie, but also a whole last series called Megamind Rules, which means that this is definitely just a pilot that they're pretending is also a movie. Now, DreamWorks is no stranger to whoring out all of their most popular movies to turn into these cheap-ass cartoons. Like, I know I've seen a little bit of the Kung Fu Panda one, and at least one of the 70
I didn't know there was a Kung Fu Panda TV show.
How to Train Your Dragon shows, but I didn't realize that they've basically done one for every single...
Really? Okay, hold on. Boss Baby, yep, I heard about that. Mr. Peabody, I don't know any of these things, really. They did a Puss in Boots TV show? Was that good? They did a Fast and Furious TV show? I'm blocking it. Right there. What the heck? What are they doing?
One of their movies. Like, even Turbo and the Croods got one before
They did a Turbo. Wow. I remember Turbo. Yeah, the Turbo Fast like a movie. Yeah, I remember that.
And I always thought that Megamind would work really well as a TV show. Like, I would have watched the shit out of this as a kid. Maybe, like, 10 fucking years ago. But this sequel movie was doomed from the start. As soon as our first look at it was this poster where Megamind looks like he's passing a kidney stone. Megamind 2 takes place 2 days after the first movie, where he has to go up against his old supervillain team, the Doom Syndicate, that he apparently used to be a part of, who all look like miraculous Ladybug characters.
Guys, do I have to villain-splain everything to you?
And they're all like pissed that he doesn't want to be evil anymore, so they come up with a plan to like launch Metro City into the moon and kill everyone, I guess. I found out that the Doom Syndicate were like a cut idea from the first movie that made it into like the Megamind video game. So I guess it's not like they came out of nowhere, even if they changed the
Mario Party music
movie. And like, I guess it's cool that they finally made it into one of the Megamind movies. I guess. I don't know. I'm trying here, guys. Oh, and yeah, they throw in like this YouTuber character that runs like Megamind's fan accounts, like his YouTube and social media, even though none of that was a thing in 2010.
For more awesome saves, click like and subscribe.
Yeah, no,
I want to kill myself.
Also, they renamed Minion to Old Chum.
Due to a cease and desist order from popular fast food chain, Mr.
Oh, no, I want to hear it. No, a car ad. That's weird. Okay, so far, from what I'm getting from this movie/TV show, the sequel, whatever, not looking too good. Art style wise, ugh. And they did it like 10 years after? Like, why would you do that? Let it die. Let it die. Especially if you're not gonna like put in the budget, let it die. Because I know Incredibles 2 came out like over 10 years, I think, from the first one. Which I need to watch Incredibles 2. I'm surprised I haven't watched it yet. I love the first one. I love the first one. Go to movie. Go to kids movie right there. And we're back. Let's hear what his name is.
Minions Meatsicles. I can no longer call myself Minion.
Okay, honestly though, it's not like the worst thing ever, like everyone's acting like it is. And honestly, I am amazed that any YouTuber has been able to make like 10-minute videos out of this thing, because I have like absolutely nothing to say about it. I've already forgotten everything that happened in it.
Dang.
I watched it like 5 days ago. But you know, the only reason this exists is just to go and get you to watch the TV show. And even though there's no way in hell I'm doing that, it is important to remember that this is made for kids and not 43-year-old men like me. So.
Megamind is back,
I'm kind of a big deal.
and you're welcome.
Okay, so the next movie we're going to talk about is way more deserving of being called
It's Son of the Mask, isn't it? It's Son of the Mask.
one of the shittiest sequels ever made.
Yep, I knew it.
Loki.
I remember. No, I don't remember because I blocked it out of my memory. That's how bad I blocked it out of my memory because I remember watching The Mask. And I know I watched Son of the Mask, but I don't remember anything besides like the baby going crazy or something because I blocked it out of my memory.
Causes cancer.
The Mask is one of those movies that I watched as a kid way before I was meant to, but I must have just had like a family member that fucking hated me or something because I somehow ended up with a DVD copy of the sequel, Son of the Mask, that I could watch anytime I wanted.
Yeah, the dog got...
Absolutely never. The first movie is about a regular guy that finds a magical mask that gives him like Looney Tunes powers that he uses to sexually harass every woman in the movie. And it goes without saying that Jim Carrey in this movie is like one of the greatest calls of all time. You know, it's up there with like Jared Leto as the Joker. And even though overall the movie is really well put together, I don't think any of it would have worked without him because it's so close to being just really annoying. So of course they wanted to make a second one, but Jim Carrey said no because he doesn't like doing sequels unless he gets to play Dr. Eggman, apparently. The main character in The Mask 2 is played by Jamie Kennedy, who I'm not old enough to know anything about, but apparently he was like a pretty big deal up until The Mask 2 came out.
Oh, dang.
He played Randy in Scream. I mean, I know him from that.
Because I watched the kill count on that one. Oh, he's the guy explaining the rules. Like, this is what you don't do in a horror movie situation in the Scream, I think. I think he was that guy.
Where he fucking died. And in the first Mask, we never really find out where the mask actually came from. Like, there's one scene where Jim Carrey goes to a psychologist, and he says that it might have been made by Loki, and that's like the only explanation we get in the entire movie, because honestly, who cares?
Yeah.
Possibly a representation of one of the Norse night gods. Maybe Loki.
Oh my god, I don't.
They run with that in Son of the Mask. Like, the whole movie is about Loki coming down to Earth to find his mask, and he's played by Alan Cumming, who still looks like he's playing a Spy Kids villain and a school shooter at the same time. They get the psychiatrist back for the opening scene, but aside from that, this has like nothing to do with the first movie at all. Because for some reason, they decided that what people really wanted to see from a sequel to The Mask was what would have happened if Jim Carrey had plowed someone with it on.
First I'm taking you to a pediatrician, then I'm taking you to an exorcist.
Ew.
Jamie Kennedy's baby has the same powers as the mask without having to wear it. So it's just like this horrifying, uncanny CG demon thing. And it's already bad enough that it looks like a 43-year-old man before they even use special effects. Look at this fucking baby. Why? Why does he look like that?
Oh, don't wink at me.
Dada.
Mother.
Jamie only wears the mask twice in the movie. He uses it once to do one of the worst musical numbers ever put to film and then slam his wife, and then one more time at the end to fight Loki in one of the worst fight scenes ever put to film. Which honestly is maybe for the best, considering that they made him look like this. Like, that was a conscious decision that a bunch of people made. In the first movie, there's a scene where Jim Carrey's dog Milo wears the mask and uses it to piss on a guy. And they must have thought that was like the greatest idea ever, because the dog in this movie uses the mask more than he does.
He does.
Like, Jamie's dog spends the entire back half of this movie figuring out how to...
He looked like that weird Scrappy-Doo CGI one in what was it, Scooby-Doo 2, I think it was? Or was it? I know Scrappy was in it. That's what he looks like, but just worse somehow. I don't know how he looked worse than that. But yeah, they thought the dog was a knee slapper of a character.
To murder the baby. And like, I can kind of see what they were trying to do with like the Tom and Jerry thing to lean more into the cartoon stuff, but I just kind of wish they didn't. The Mask 1 had a budget of 18 million, but for some reason they gave the one without Jim Carrey a budget of 80 million. And like, you can see...
Oh, that's a huge jump. That's a huge jump. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? They said, yeah, we're going to go crazy in the CGI department. We better go crazy. That's insane.
Reason they gave the one without Jim Carrey a budget of 80 million. And like, you can see where it went at least, because like every 2 seconds in this movie they bombard you with all of this shit that looks like bowling alley animations, and it just doesn't stop. Like, 2005 CGI was just not ready, man.
Yeah,
when you look at the behind the scenes stuff, Son of the Mask was like a super ambitious movie. Like, they put a lot of work into making that horrible CGI baby, but all they really ended up making was one of the greatest condom commercials ever made. I think Son of the Mask would have been fine as a its own thing. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with this idea, but there's like no reason that this should have been a Mask sequel aside from that being a reason to get people to go and see it. And like, if you don't think that people want to go and see a movie about Jamie Kennedy trying to kill his unholy CGI baby, then maybe don't fucking make it. Jamie Kennedy actually has like a whole bunch of videos on his YouTube channel where he like talks about his side of the story with Son of the Mask and how it all kind of like went to hell while they were working on it. But most importantly of all, I found out that he's selling Son of the Mask Evangelion merch, so it's good to know he's in a better place now. Okay, so Megamind 2 and Son of the Mask definitely suck, but this last one I have way more beef with, which...
I know he's definitely a Transformer guy. I have not seen a single Transformer movie besides the animated one with my friend, the old one. They had the Born to Be Stupid. That one in it, that song. Really good. I like that movie. But besides that, I have not watched a single Transformer movie, animated or not.
Which you probably know from the thumbnail already is Pacific Rim Uprising.
I did not know.
The first Pacific Rim is maybe one of my favorite movies.
Oh no, this is not Transformer. My fault. I thought it was Transformer because I just assumed. No, this is Pacific Rim. Never mind. Yeah, I heard about Pacific Rim. I heard like the first one was really good.
This last one I have way more beef with.
My fault, guys. Don't judge me.
Don't judge me. Is Pacific Rim Uprising.
I just assumed it was Transformers.
The first Pacific Rim is maybe one of my favorite movies ever made because I'm a very simple man, okay? And all I really need in life are to see some giant robots punching the big monster.
I feel
My own wedding won't make me as happy as seeing Gypsy Danger beating the shit out of a kaiju with a boat.
With a boat?
And it's directed by Guillermo del Toro, who is like famous for canceling more projects than he actually makes. So I'm so happy to live in the world where the giant robot one is the one that actually came out. And you can tell there is just so much work put into the way that these Jaegers move and like the weight behind them with how it takes them like 5 hours to hit anything. They have like such a huge emphasis on like the destruction and like in every scene you can see how much punches increase every time they throw a punch. And you really get a sense of like how fucked they are and how hard it is to fight these monsters no matter how many badass speeches Idris Elba gives because every Jaeger in the movie gets trashed instantly. Like they lose 2 of their only 4 Jaegers in the movie before they even make it to the final mission. And they fit in so much world building in such a short amount of time with like the side characters like Charlie Day, who has this whole B plot where he has to go to like a kaiju black market, where he meets Ron Perlman, who has like maybe the most immaculate fit I've ever seen in a movie. Anyway, it ends with them like nuking the shit out of the kaiju world and canceling the apocalypse. And I always wanted a sequel to this movie because there are still so many unanswered questions by the end of it. Like who it is that's actually sending the kaiju and what their fucking problem is. But then at the same time, I mean, the story was kind of done. I mean, they closed the breach and there really wasn't like a whole lot you could do without undoing the end of the first movie or just making something really boring. And lucky for us, they chose to do both. The DVD copy of Uprising I watched says it's bigger, badder, and bolder, and only one of those things is true.
Yeah, that was supposed to be epic, but it wasn't.
I found some stuff from 24. One of those things is true.
Yeah, that was supposed to be epic, but it wasn't.
I found some stuff from 2014 from Del Toro saying he did want to do a sequel, but he just didn't want to have to go to China to film it because he was too busy winning an Oscar at the time. So they didn't get him back. Then they also didn't get the main character Raleigh back because Charlie Hunnam was too busy doing other movies at the time. And look, I'm not saying that Raleigh was like the most interesting character of all time, but it still just kind of feels weird to not have him there, you know? So they kind of just like don't ever bring up where he is in the whole movie, but you can actually find the answer to that in the Pacific Rim Uprising novelization, which I read as a kid for some reason. And it turns out that Raleigh died of radiation poisoning after going inside the breach at the end of the first movie.
You do.
So after surviving all that, he actually dies of alien cancer. Skill issue. And I'm pretty sure a lot of these movie novelizations are like based on earlier drafts of scripts too, so maybe this was actually meant to be in the movie until they thought that maybe keeping him alive just in case for a Pacific Rim 3 might have been a good idea. But you know who they did bring back? Riley's co-pilot Mako. Until they kill her off in a helicopter crash 2 scenes later.
Oh.
Motherfucker.
Okay,
I've done so much reading into the behind the scenes of this movie just to find out why they would even bother to bring her back if they were going to kill her off before she even gets in a Jaeger. And there are articles saying that originally it was like one of the Australian guys from the first movie that died in the crash, or that she was just like meant to be in a coma. But I think my favorite one is that even the director was like, yeah, that kind of sucked actually. And Uprising takes place like 10 years after the first one, but they don't really give a lot of attention to what's actually happened to the world in all that time. Aside from that, they've been rebuilding everything, and also that they keep making Jaegers for some reason, even though they have like nothing to fight with them. Uprising leans a lot more into the anime that both movies are very clearly borrowing from, which is good because it means we get Evangelion drones in it, which I can't even lie are kind of fucking awesome, which is why it's only in the movie for like 5 seconds. But it also means that now we have a bunch of dumbass kids piloting the robots, but they don't actually become important.
Wait, we got kids piloting robots? What? Oh, they definitely took off Evangelion. They were inspired by that.
It also means that now we have a bunch of dumbass kids piloting the robots, but they don't actually become important until like the last 45 minutes of the movie, so we don't get to know anything about them except that this one girl looks like pyrocynical. And I know it would have been a bit of a downer if they'd started killing off all the child soldiers at the end, but even though none of these kids have ever fought a real kaiju before, only one of them dies after getting like thrown through a building, which is pretty fucking funny. Honestly, I think Uprising is like fine on its own, but like I watched it straight after the first movie, and it's like, yeah, I still get to see big robots trashing the shit out of Japan and Australia, but I just don't know how to explain why it doesn't have like the same vibe. Like maybe it's the fact that all of the fight scenes take place during the day and they just don't look anywhere near as cool as they did in the first.
Yeah, it's like it's movie. It's like it's missing something, because the atmosphere in the first movie, you see it right there on the right side. It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty rad. Like more destruction's going on. It feels more serious in the first movie, but the second one, I don't know. I kind of get what he's saying. The fight still looks kind of good though in the second movie.
Or that I just don't give a shit about what's going on. I think maybe it's because they're all like too fast in this one. Like, okay, I know this is approaching like Cinema Sins level of nitpicking, but like, hear me out, okay? They do such a good job of distinguishing between the Jaegers in the first movie. Like, one has 3 arms, one looks like shit, and one is Australian, which is why it's the best one. But like in Uprising, all of the Jaegers are like brand new, so they all look and move exactly the same. And I guess in universe it makes sense, but I guess it just really makes you appreciate how much love they put into the first one when it's not there anymore, you know? Pacific Rim Uprising somehow feels like one of those shitty legacy sequels that comes out like 20 years after the original. Like, the after credit scene is literally copy-pasted from that other terrible Independence Day sequel that came out the same year, where at the end they're all like, we're gonna take the fight to them. Fuck yeah. Oh no. I know there are definitely worse sequels out there. Like, again, Exorcist 2 is really fucking bad.
You made 2 more videos after
this. I'm ever going to be over Pacific Rim 2. Anyway, thank you guys so much for letting me complain about shitty movies for like 15 minutes. I think my voice is completely gone, so I'm glad I finished the round now. But yeah, let me know if you guys want me to do more of these, because we got plenty more sequels to talk about, and I will see you guys next time.
Alright, yeah, this is the next 2. Shrek? Is Shrek 3 bad? Cause I know for a fact he's not talking about Shrek 2 being bad. I know for a fact. Hey, fact is not Shrek 2. That was great. That's peak right there. But Shrek 3 is the one. Oh, let me cancel. Shrek 3 was the one where he turned human, right?
Shitty.
Or was that Shrek 2 as well? No. Do I not remember Shrek 3? Was there Shrek 4? Wait a minute, hold on now. Hold on. Oh no, my lord. Oh no. Shrek 2 was great. That's all we gotta know. Shrek 2 was phenomenal. He can't be talking about that. He cannot be talking about Shrek 2. So far, right, from the 3 movies he covered, I think Pacific Rim was the best one of the worst series here. Son of the Mask was definitely the worst one. 80 million? Really? You spent 80 million on that? Really? The sequel without Jim Carrey? Crazy. The Megamind movie, sequel movie, which is basically so you can watch the TV show. That just looked all types of bad. I don't know. I think it's because I watched The Mask. So the Son of the Mask is like, yeah, no, that's horrible. That's a terrible movie. That's just terrible. But at least with Pacific Rim, like the fights from like what he showed me, it still looked pretty interesting. The fights from what he showed, it's just like the atmosphere is just story-wise, I couldn't tell you there. I haven't watched the first one, so I don't know. I can't even tell you there. But again, from what he was saying though, I can see why this would be on the list. These would be 3 he would pick. The Son of the Mask is the worst one so far. we're gonna keep track. We're gonna watch the next 2 later, but we're gonna keep track on what's like the worst out of his series. But it's gonna be hard to beat Son of the Mask, I feel. Let me know what you guys think below. It's like the worst sequel movie ever. For me, I can't answer that right now because I can't even think of any movies like that. When I think of it, I'll let you guys know. But we're gonna get out of here. There's one more video I want to check out before I end off today. So yeah, hope you enjoyed my reaction, and thank you for watching. MyCupOfTea is out of here. See you later. They really made him mad. They really put the budget in that baby, that CGI old man baby. I look hideous. Yeah, back in the day, like the early 2000s, they were obsessed with CGI. No matter how bad it looked, they were going to do it. Thank goodness they got the stuff together, because CGI looks great. For the most part, in some movies, when it's done right, it looks great. Phenomenal. Mwah. When it doesn't look great, oh, you see it. You feel it. You feel it in your soul right there, like, ooh, that hurt me to watch.